Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Chanel Caraballo. I am a special education teacher, RTI teacher, coach, mentor in NYC, DOE. And on this channel, I am going to share practical strategies, insightful ideas, and tips that you can use in your classroom. So if you're ready to elevate your teaching experience, you're in the right place. Let's get started. So I wanted to do this video on one of the things that I realized a lot of teachers struggle with, and that is the I do, we do, you do process, which is the gradual release. When you are teaching something to students, it is important to show them what to do it together, and then release them so that they can practice on their own. So I'm going to show you one of the lessons that I've done in my 5th grade class, and it's a mini lesson. This is HMH Into Reading, and it's a mini lesson on Module 1, which was Inventors at Work. This is Lesson 5. So I'm going to show you how I would, this is just the bare minimum of what I would do to then show the students how to do it together, and then they will do it themselves, okay? Here we have Module 1, Adventures at Work, Lesson 5. The first thing that in the teacher's guide it talks about is shows you that you need to show them some vocabulary, do some vocabulary with them. Okay, so I'm going to show it to you in presenter form. So here we go. First we have the build language and knowledge, right? I would show the picture to the students, say cylinder, right? Show them the picture, tell them to look closely at the picture. They will then read the sentence. Someone could read the sentence, I will read the sentence. We really want the kids to do the heavy lifting of the work, so have someone read the sentence. So they would say, the mechanic replaced the leaky cylinder with a new one. Explain what cylinder means. So they will look at it. I'll give them a minute. You see this timer is here. We'll give them a minute. Play that. And then after a couple of times, they don't even need a full minute, but you give them a minute so they can think about what it means. Look at the word, use their brains, have a discussion with their group in order to figure out what the word means. After we do that, then they will call out, what do they think the word means? And then I will place the word up here so then they could read the true meaning of the word, okay? And we would do that for each one. Next one was patent. They would do the same thing. Read the sentence, explain what patent means. Do that in a group, and then we will show them what the word means. I say we a lot because I was in an ITT classroom, and it was me and another teacher, so it's we. After that, we'll go through the learning target and the language target. Learning target, I can identify, I'm going to move this here. I can identify the central idea by examining the logical order of importance in informational text. This came from the HMH book, and I switched it up a little bit so it can make sense to myself and the students. And then we have the language target as well, right? So we will go through the learning target, language target. After we do that, we're going to break down the learning target into the success criteria, which is what will make them successful throughout this lesson. So what they're going to do, they're going to find what the text is mostly about. Then they're going to look for clues. They will evaluate those details. Then they will determine the key ideas that support the central idea. That's how they would know what the central idea is, right? So then we'll do the success criteria. Go over the chart. We always want to go over the chart with them. These charts will also be on their desk. They will have little mini anchor charts. I will have the chart up on the walls in the classroom so they would see it, go over what the chart means, right? Because you could show this to them and say central idea. They don't know what that means. What are these keys? What is all this stuff? What's the door? Explain. It's a visualization, but you also need to explain the picture, explain what it means. Actually, when you put this up, you could actually walk through a door, walk back out, show them what these things mean. Have some keys as you show it to them. Every kid learns differently. A lot of kids do learn visually. So with also action. So not just visually, but also with action, especially if we have a lot of L's in our classrooms. Okay, so we'll go through the chart. Then we'll do the prepare to read. What are we going to be reading about? What kind of story is this? What's the genre, right? The narrative nonfiction. That's what it is. What is a narrative nonfiction? Explain that with them. Have them have a mini discussion, what that is. If a kid already knows it, let him explain it to the class or her. Okay, if not, that's what you're introducing. You're activating their prior knowledge. Do they know about it? If not, then what can I show them? And in here, if they don't know about it, and I'll show this a little later on because we started changing these into, a different type of format where we put in activating prior knowledge. So for example, right here, if a lot of the kids did not understand what narrative nonfiction was, I will put in a little video clip of narrative nonfiction so that therefore they understand what this genre is. Or I would then just go deeper into giving them 2 examples of 2 different books they may have read the year before or different books in the classroom. I would lift it up, let them look at it so they can see what a narrative nonfiction is. Then it's the I do, right? Which is the watch me do it. So what you're going to do is, we know the skill is central idea, right? So when you're planning, you're looking for a part of the story where you can find the central idea. And in the teacher's manual, they have those parts, right? When you go through the teacher's manual, they will have these different things. If you are watching this video and you don't do HMH, you do any other type of curriculum, you can always do the same thing. It doesn't matter what you're doing. I do, we do, you do is the same thing, right? So you would get a part of the text, preferably in the beginning, right? Where you could show what was the central idea of this selection. So after reading the selection, using my own words, what is the central idea? I would read this. The kids are not reading this. I am reading this myself. I am thinking aloud, what happened here? What words do I see? What makes me understand that this is the central idea, that this is the main idea of this selection, of this part of the story, right? I'm thinking aloud. I'm talking it aloud. So they see you do it. That's it. No student is involved at this point. They are watching you model. You're acting. It's like you're on stage and you're acting. This is your part to act, what you're doing, right? You would read it and then you would think about it. Now the collaborative tasks, that's the we do with a partner together, right? Either with one partner or they're doing it at the table, a group of 4. I would just say one partner. So now revisiting the inventor's secret, we identify 2 relevant details supporting the central idea, underline highlighted details, okay? We will answer, how did the author organize the text to support the central idea, okay? What did the author do? What's the central idea of the story? Again, what you just did before, you're going to do again here. So the underlining, as you model it, you would have been underlining those things because now you want them to do it. Every little thing that you want them to do, make sure you do it before, okay? So the same thing is central idea, right? We're only doing central idea. You're not going to now, in the collaborative task, in the we do part, tell them, oh, I know what I modeled for you and what I showed you was central idea, but also I want you to look for the text structure. But what? That has nothing to do with what you showed me. So you want the kids to be successful. You are letting them stick to what it is that you did. And that's how they get better, doing the practice of exactly what you did. Then we have the independent practice. So this is the you do, what they're going to do on their own, independently, so you could see them. You can use the same text, a different text, whatever it is that you want to do. And you have them what? Again, identify the central idea and supporting details. Okay? Exactly what you did. Exactly what they just did with the partner is the same thing that they're going to do on their own. It's the same thing. Okay? And that's it for the lesson. So now after this lesson is done, right? What? Go back to the target. I can identify the central idea. Did they do that? They were able to identify the central idea by examining in logical order of importance in information text. They did that. So you were successful. You follow this type of format, you will have a highly effective observation because your kids are discussing, they're talking to each other, they're thinking on their own. You had a clear format for them to follow. They had a checklist, a success criteria checklist. You will be highly effective. I will put an example of this in the description box so you guys can look at it. But I'm also going to link my TPT store. So if you guys do use HMH, my friends and I, we do have these already made for HMH for 5th grade, for the full 9 modules of 5th grade. We're working on the other grades right now, but you can see, I'm going to put an example here so you can see. So if you're in a different state or even in New York City and you're using a different curriculum, this format works with any curriculum, because I used this when I was in a different school using Wit and Wisdom. That was another curriculum here in New York City that we used. So it was the same format. I do, we do, you do. And I do that in everything. So I wanted to show you guys this so you guys can clearly see, and this could help new teachers with how they're preparing their lessons. And you do the same thing in math. And I could also show how you could do that in a math lesson as well. In the next video, I could show you how you do math as well. It's the same thing, right? You do an example, they do an example, and then they do their work. And trust me, you do that, the kids will have clear understanding, and it won't be as frustrating for them. Thank you guys for joining me today. I hope this was insightful for you all. And if you know any teachers that could benefit from this, please share my video. Subscribe down below. Comment if you need anything. If there's anything that you would like to know in particular, please let me know. I love sharing. I love helping other teachers. It is one of my passions. If it's not one of my biggest passions, is helping other people and helping teachers become great at their craft. It's nothing more rewarding to me besides helping the kids at school, but rewarding seeing teachers get the aha moment, and when they understand what they have to do in order to get those highly effectives on their Danielson. And I say Danielson because that's the evaluation system we use here in NYC. There is nothing more rewarding than that. I love helping other teachers. So if there is something in particular that you would like to ask me for me to share with you, I will. Okay, I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.